Congratulations! We ride these bikes to the limit. We try to find what's bad and what's good about them, and then we come up with the conclusions for you guys to know what you should like to know, a fair opinion about every bike we test.
Okay, that's why we came with this donation page. So if you like what we're doing, check it out and feel free to support us. It's time for the most anticipated review of the season, the middleweight adventure comparison. What we got over here is the BMW F850GSA Adventure in its rally trim. It's the bike that won our previous comparison with the Honda Africa Twin and the Moto Guzzi V85 TT. And right here is the KTM 790 Adventure S.
S, yes.
Yes, the basic version. A special guest for today, Bogdan.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Okay, so you are a KTM fanboy.
Almost, yeah.
Take a look at this t-shirt.
Almost a KTM fanboy.
You got a 950?
Yes, a 950.
A 950. And how do you feel this one is compared to the 950?
Lighter, nimbler, and more aggressive.
Do you like it more?
Yeah, I do like it more.
And over here, what we got?
This is a bike.
A cheap bike.
No, it's not like that. It's a more refined system. It's not what you think it is. This is the new Tenere 700. It's the bike that I will ride today, and I will beat.
Is it new?
I will beat your ass out, even the KTMs.
How new
just
is,
because I'm in the saddle.
How new is that? Does it have a traction control?
You don't need a traction control. We have 3 days from now on. I will prove you that this bike has some abilities. I don't have a traction control system, so all the mud will be in your face, guys. You know that, yeah?
What the?
Have the Scorpion rallies.
Wow.
Check out this sound. This is louder. Stop it. It hurts my ear. Stop it.
The KTM?
Almost.
Stop it. It sounds like it's broken.
It's a KTM.
Okay, let's go. So what's the difference?
On fast twisties, the KTM is the fastest. The BMW, it's close to the T7, but I think the T7 has some chances to win because this one gets a lot of dive while hard braking, and you cannot change direction under hard braking very easy. This one leaves you a bit behind because you have that thought that you haven't got a traction control system and you won't push it that hard, but this engine is very mellow and the power output comes in very easy. So I think this is a fair bike, but the winner on the fast twisties like this one over here is the KTM, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the Yamaha, it feels like this engine is bigger than 700 because it has short gears and you have to shift a lot, but it has pretty damn good low torque. I mean, you don't have to rev it, and you cannot rev it because it stops somewhere, I don't know what, 7
7 or 8,000, yeah. You don't get
and
any
you
more
have to
juice
shift.
after that.
Yeah, but it works like magic. It's amazing for me. I was expecting
I agree with
something
Bogdan.
different.
This engine is more refined than the KTM's.
Do you?
I think, yeah. Smoother.
Yeah, it feels more Japanese.
Yeah,
The KTM
probably.
feels like I don't know, like a KTM. Man, I'm in love with this Yamaha. I don't like the suspension very much, but this engine is my favorite. It pulls like insane and it's very refined, no vibes, nothing. I just have to grab the acceleration and that's it. It's amazing. It comes with a lot of torque, low down torque, and it's very useful to these twisty roads on Transfăgărășan because it's very fun. It's very fun to use. It's very fun to ride. So let's ride, yeah.
My favorite for today was the KTM. That's why I rode it most of the time because it's so fun to ride. The engine screams, the suspension, it's over there, it keeps you on the tarmac. But the BMW does a good job also. I kind of like the front end feel with the BMW. It's like a boat, like a magic carpet on the road, you know. You just push it, you take the turn, and when it starts to be bumpy, you don't have a feeling on the front end, and you're like, oh.
When riding the Yamaha, you can't do it on bumpy
Yeah,
roads.
it's a lot
It feels
stiffer.
like from time to time it just kicks you in the back when you hit a bump.
This suspension, it's adjustable, so we should work a bit with it while riding on road because I think you can make it a bit plusher, you can make it a bit softer. Right now it's pretty stiff and yeah, it will hit you in the bum every time you go on bumpy roads. The gears are very short and when you go down like 2 gears, the rear end will slide.
Yeah, of course, because
But it's a nice sound.
yeah, but otherwise, I think that with longer gears, it wouldn't feel the same.
Yeah, it feels very powerful right
Yeah,
now.
it's very punchy and it's keeping up the pace with the KTM and with the BMW, although on the paper it has less horsepower than the BMW and the KTM. It has like, I don't know, like 70 or something like that, but it feels more powerful than that. So on this kind of roads, I love the KTM because I think it's the best one to have fun on twisties. But if I had to spend like 500 kilometers a day on a bike, this should be the one because it's the most comfortable and you need comfort. I think we forgot to mention it about yesterday on the highway. The KTM, it feels
Wobbly.
yeah, it wobbles a lot, and for me it's a big surprise.
It goes like a snake.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that from this type of bike.
I think the suspension is too soft, but as soon as you get it close to 150 kilometers an hour, it will start to wobble. If you change your body position, you move it a lot back, a lot to the back, you move your bum over the passenger seat, it becomes a lot more stable. You can ride it faster.
But it's still dangerous. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't ride it with more than 150 kilometers per hour. I wouldn't
Yeah, you
recommend
shouldn't.
it.
It's a medium adventure bike.
But it's okay. I mean, yeah,
What about the Yamaha?
It's a
Because
big
it's pretty
surprise.
stable, yeah.
it's a big surprise. It's like a train.
Yeah, it sticks to the asphalt very good. It copies every bump on the road, so no issues, no emotions over there. Everything is very stable, no vibrations. This small windshield will feel good actually. I was expecting some huge turbulences in the helmet area, but it was good.
Yeah, for me it was a bit of noise, also on the KTM, on the Yamaha, but on the BMW it's completely silence,
Yeah.
and it's the most comfortable bike out here. If talking about highways, I mean this is your bike. What's up, guys? Having fun?
Chilling, yeah. You're enjoying the view. Taste it. You'll
sure?
You'll find out better. Too much sugar?
Why on earth would you do that? Because you have the road over there and it's a nice gravel road. Why would you do that?
My glasses were foggy and I thought the road was through here.
Yeah, but still. And what about you?
I don't have glasses, I have a KTM.
Oh, you got something to prove.
Yes, obviously.
That's it with you guys. With the KTM guys, they always have something to prove. Ready to race. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is to enjoy the show.
I'm still resting for the next 5 minutes. I have to push the bike afterwards.
You're the oldest, you have to...
Yeah, exactly. Only the guy with the KTM will help me because the guy with the BMW laughs at me. Congratulations.
The guy with the
That's exceptional
BMW,
riding.
the guy with the BMW goes
at a fancy hotel and drink
exactly.
some brandy.
And I got nothing to prove. I got the GS. It's a rally. You can see it over there. It looks very nice.
You cannot come with the GS over here.
I don't want to do that. Why should I do that?
At least keep this in your hand.
Help us with the thing.
KTM guys.
I won't be pulling him out.
Come to Papa. Man, you're more than this. It's proper bucked.
So what the hell did you just do today?
That was not cow shit, you know? That was the finest kind of
Perfume.
mud that you can find on earth. So that was mud only. It looks like that because it's a different kind of mud. You don't know it. I had a lot of fun. I went through all three of them, all three bikes with the BMW at some point, with the Yamaha at some point, and also with the KTM. And after running with the BMW, I was okay. This is my favorite one so far. It feels so good on twisties. Everything is so cool. I didn't feel the weight. After going on the KTM, man, that thing, it's so fun to ride. You couldn't imagine.
Because it's the engine that it revs up very fast and it feels like a sports bike.
And also I love the way it changes the gears, because that quick shifter really works very well. On the BMW, it's a different point of view, because it's a bit dull. Everything is soft. The suspension is mellow. You ride. You're like actually falling asleep.
Still, the quick shifter is very good on BMW, on this model, on this unit. On this,
Yeah,
it
they
shifts
changed
very good.
something.
Yeah, the gearbox.
It doesn't shift very good. It has some points that you cannot shift. It will hit you in the back after changing it. So I felt it a few times, actually 100 times today, because I was changing very fast.
Okay, so to get to a conclusion, after all, after the asphalt, because there's no asphalt for us from now on, which one is your favorite?
I like the BMW, but I would ride the KTM till, I don't know, 2 years from now on. I love it.
Bogdan?
I subscribe to that. Yeah, the BMW is the most comfortable on road, but the KTM is the more sportier one.
Okay, so you like the KTM more?
Yes, I think I like the KTM more.
It's not because you're a fanboy.
No, no.
And the Yamaha, is it okay for you?
For me, surprisingly, yeah, it is. I like it because it's I know, it's a more old school, and I like old school bikes.
Okay.
Despite of the jerkiness of the suspension.
Yes, the suspension, it's also, the throttle is a bit snatchy in the first gear, in the second gear, if you wanna.
Come back on the throttle.
Is the classic Yamaha.
On the deceleration, yeah,
It's not as smooth as the BMW
No,
or the
obviously
KTM.
not, yeah, yeah, sure.
It's a bit snatchy. The suspension is a bit uncomfortable for me. If going to bumpy roads, it's perfect for a good road. It feels a bit like a sports bike. You don't have that much dive in. It feels very good. It reacts very good, but it's a bit too hard. And I also felt it in that part of off-road we did at the beginning of the day. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Riding fast on that road. Which was your favorite over there?
On that kind of road, if I'm exhausted and I want to sit, I would take the BMW. If I want to ride fast and jump, I would take the KTM. Because the BMW feels a bit comfortable, the electronics are just like magic on the BMW, they work for you. You don't have to worry, you have to worry actually only about the front wheel to get in between the stones and the gravel or bumps that you have on the road. Otherwise, with the KTM, you don't have to worry about anything. You just have to stand and keep the throttle fully open.
Yeah, but I think the KTM is a bit, let's say, tight.
It feels a lot more lighter than the other two bikes.
But I'm not talking about weight right now. I'm talking about the bike. It's more tight than the BMW seat. When standing on the bike, you are more relaxed on the BMW. The ergonomics are a bit better.
The KTM is more compact.
Yeah.
But you know, one thing I've noticed on that fast off-road was the fact that the KTM wasn't that nose heavy as the BMW was.
Yeah, it's not.
I jumped the BMW
because
too,
it's lighter and you have the fuel tank over there, down there, and it's okay.
You feel it.
The Yamaha, it feels so okay. It feels very light, but it's that stiff suspension that I don't like it. On that kind, on that kind of road, it just jumps from the front and from the back end. My favorite for those kind of roads is just like you, the BMW and the KTM, depending on what I'm gonna do. But we still have to do some off-road testing tomorrow.
Acum m-am mutat de căcat m-am făcut. Hai sus! Hai sus! Respiră și după aia dă-i.
So guys, the amazing thing is that Yamaha, it doesn't come fitted with the traction control, but I didn't need the traction control over there.
We didn't use it.
Yeah, but I had really impressive grip for what I'm expecting about this bike and from these tires. I thought it would be worse in the middle of the river. My only complaint about the Yamaha, okay, it's not the bike, it's me, because the bike is a bit tall, and in this kind of sections it might be a bit difficult to reach the ground, because you're crossing a river and a lot of stones and it's slippery. But the good part is that it's light, so it's not very difficult to cross it, and also it's narrow.
Want to try it with the BMW?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I don't want to do it. I'm sure I could do it, but it's heavier. It's heavier for me, and it's taller than the Yamaha, I think.
It is.
How did the BMW feel?
I had to stand in one foot at some point, but I managed to go over the river easily, actually.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I went in the enduro mode. Everything went like magic. I was pretty sure that I can do it without problems.
Okay, the KTM.
But it feels heavy, definitely. It feels heavy because when the front end jumped left and right, I had to keep it with my arms very, very
Really?
tight. Yeah.
Yeah, for me with the Yamaha it was a piece of cake. I wanted to take it slow because I didn't know what was below, but it was really easy. The KTM,
On the comeback, the line was picked
what
wrong,
happened?
but
What happened down there?
well, it was very deep there, and I didn't saw that, and
Okay.
the water was up to my knee, so that was the issue. Otherwise, it works fine. It works like a charm with the enduro mode. On the first crossing was no drama. On the second part, yeah, a little bit of drama, but thanks for the help.
So now you're not ready to race, you're ready to dive.
No, I'm ready to take a swim.
We had a lot of fun today. So now it's time, after 3 days of street riding, a bit of off-road, a bit of highway, a little bit of everything, it's time to announce the winner. But before that, let's talk a bit more about the off-road part, because that's what we did today. At least we tried to do. How is the BMW?
Well, the BMW is the same as on street. It feels heavy, but it's steady. If you go at a low pace, you won't have any problems. It might be an issue for you guys with the height because it's pretty tall. If you stall it or the bike goes sideways, you'll have to put your leg down, so you'll have to come off the saddle with your entire leg, and that will be very hard for you. I managed to do it very okay. I can say that I'm proud of me today, because the bike felt very heavy, especially at the river crossing when the rocks were driving me another way that I wanted to go. Other than that, the systems are working like magic. You will go just like a tractor, come out of the river, no problems.
What about the KTM? How do you feel it?
It's tractor number 2. It's chugging along just fine, as long as you're a little bit careful with the traction control with your right wrist. It's okay, but otherwise the traction control works just fine.
Okay, how does it feel? Light, heavy?
It feels quite lighter obviously than the BMW. I think it's in between these two, in between the BMW and the Yamaha, but the downside for me for the Yamaha is that it's far too tall.
Yeah, for me it's tall too. Yeah, I was about to lose it once. It was a stupid thing. So you can do it because it's tall. It's taller for me. But other than that, it feels good because it's light. It's very narrow, and I like that very much. The throttle is good. The throttle response is okay. The bit snatchy if you're trying to keep it at a steady pace at low speed. But other than that, it's okay. But what I don't like at the Yamaha, there are two things: the riding position at all. The sitting on the bike, I don't like it because the handlebar is somewhere like here and there, and it's not on my taste. Also, when standing on the bike, after like 15 minutes or something like that, I started to have some pain in my wrists, in my hands. But maybe it's just for me. I don't know about you.
These things can be adjusted. Also on the KTM, I felt the need for higher handlebar. So with some riser, you can risers. You can solve the problem very easy, but as they are right now, I think the Yamaha surely has a problem with that handlebar. the way it's positioned towards the front, it keeps you with the chest up, so that's pretty heavy to ride.
Yeah, but other than that, it's okay. My biggest issue with the Yamaha is the suspension. I just feel that it's not working fine in off-road, because okay, if you're going really slow, it's okay, but if you're grabbing the gas and trying to go through difficult terrain, you can feel that something's not right over there.
It becomes very jumpy at a higher pace. I saw it while riding on the gravel, on the stone pads over there. The back end was lifting a lot, and also the front was not too steady to ride it fast.
Yeah, and also you said also the river crossing. You said that it's
Yeah, the river crossing, you have everything you need. You don't need traction control. The power comes in a slow manner. You can modulate it. Everything is cool over there. But if you want to pass it a bit faster, as soon as the back end hits a bump or the front end, it will start jumping from the road.
no, probably with some adjustment. I don't know. Maybe you can fix them. But if you fix them for off-road, I don't know how good are they gonna be on street. I mean, you have to find the perfect balance, because that's what adventure riding means. And yeah, regarding the suspension on the KTM and on the F850GS, they work just fine for me.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing to complain about.
Very good in
Nothing to
They are
complain.
mellow.
In suspension department, nothing to complain on both.
Yeah.
Okay, so our winner for... No, before that, because there are two things to mention about them. The range, the fuel range and the fuel consumption. I just checked it out. This one, it got a 5.9, I think. And with this 15-16 liters fuel tank, I might say it's not enough for big adventure trips. If choosing that for one of my adventures, I would have to go with some 5 liter, at least 5 liter fuel reserve. What's the fuel consumption over there? Let's check it out. Push this button and you have
5.5.
5.5, so it's a bit under the Yamaha, and this comes with a 20 liters fuel tank. So with 5.5 in these riding conditions,
Yeah, it's
very good. It's very good. What about you?
I'm not complaining about the fuel consumption. I've got a 5.8 over here, but I have a large fuel tank.
Yeah,
so
23 liters.
yeah, 23 liters, so I'm sold.
the largest of the bunch.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about the price a bit, because it's also important. The cheapest bike here, okay, let's say the least expensive, because I don't want to use the word cheap, because it's not cheap.
Because it's
but
cheap.
Yeah,
The
it's
word
not,
cheap is cheap.
It's not as expensive as the BMW, as the KTM. This one costs 10,000 euros in our market. The KTM, it has a starting price of 12,800 euros, and the BMW,
14,000 and a half or a bit
no,
higher.
it's not. No, the starting price.
Oh, the starting
Yeah, the starting price is pretty much the same, but if adding some, I don't know, the quick shifter and similar equipment to the KTM, it goes like 1,000 euros more than the KTM, something like that. But BMW comes with all sorts of equipment, and if you're gonna put it all, you're gonna have to spend more than 15,000 euros for that bike. But it's up to you. So the difference, the price difference between these two is about 1,000 euros. It depends on the equipment you choose to have. Okay, the Yamaha is cheaper, but it doesn't have that fancy dash, it doesn't have the electronics, it comes with tube-type tires, not tubeless tires. So yeah, you're paying more for the KTM and for the BMW, but you have superior equipment.
Yeah,
so
you have something for that money.
Yeah, it's up to you if you wanna go for it or not. Maybe some people would just like a simple bike like this one, old school. Maybe other people like me, I prefer having some electronics.
Yeah, they sure help on
And,
this weather
yes.
and this terrain.
My winner for the off-road part is the KTM.
Why?
Because it feels lighter and it's so fun to ride even in off-road. I would work a bit with the riding position, I would adjust the handlebars, but other than that, I won't do nothing to this bike. It feels very nice to ride, standing. You're feeling just like a rally ride Dakar rider. So it's pretty fun.
I agree with Bogdan. The KTM is the one on Enduro.
Do you still have the t-shirt on you with the
No,
KTM?
no.
It's not about that. Yeah?
No, it feels light, and that's very important. Remember when we got bogged in the river, I managed to move it by hand for a couple of meters. I don't think I can do that with the BMW. So that's very important. To be able to move it on short distance is very tight.
Yep, for me, the Yamaha, I liked it. It impressed me actually. It's a good bike. The BMW is the comfortable one, but in off-road, I would go also with the KTM because for me it feels lighter than the BMW, and actually talking about kilos, it's almost as light as the Yamaha because, okay, let's consider the dry weight because we have different fuel volumes. The difference is somewhere around 2 kilos between these two bikes.
Yeah, they didn't feel that different in the weight department, but you know, the position differs a lot.
Meanwhile, the BMW is a lot heavier, and you can feel that it's a lot heavier. So I would go with the KTM because it has good suspensions, it feels light. The Yamaha feels light, but it doesn't come with the same suspension. I also like the thing that it has a big fuel tank, but it's very
Down
narrow
low, yeah.
over here, and I love that. So yeah, for the off-road part, I would go with the KTM. We have a winner on street.
And a winner in off-road.
Okay, so our winner for today on street and off-road is
KTM!
KTM.
Yeah, and you know why it's the KTM? Because it comes with the most comprehensive package. It has a very good balanced suspension for street use and off-road, a lot of power, low weight, it feels very natural off-road, it feels very fun to ride on street. It's like a tractor when going off-road, it feels very, very pleasant. It comes with the power just when you need it. The smallest thing that we should adjust about it is the handlebar risers.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing
It's
to complain with.
adjustable. You can also adjust the foot pegs, riding position, everything is adjustable, so you can make it work. The BMW is the comfortable one, the most comfortable one
The most
by
comfortable
far.
one is taller, it's heavier, it's mostly addressed towards the taller guys and the guys that want to have all the systems in the world.
Yeah,
on
and
their
all
bike.
the comfort in the world, and they
Yeah.
prefer riding on the highways and from time to time switching to some off-road. But for the other guys who they don't want any system, is the Yamaha.
It comes with the best price on the market, no systems. It's more than a fair option if you want to go traveling and want to hit the mud from time to time. The Yamaha, it's the package for you.
Yeah, but the KTM still delivers the best because it's got a bit from there, a bit from there. It's very
Combines
friendly,
the two
easy
worlds
to use.
perfectly.
Yeah, so that's why he's the winner for today.
The perfect mix.
We ride these bikes to the limit, we try to find what's bad and what's good about them, and then we come up with the conclusions for you guys to know what you should like to know, a fair opinion about every bike we test.
Okay, that's why we came with this donation page. So if you like what we're doing, check it out and feel free to support us.